Thank you. Welcome to the Palo Alto Parks and Recreation Commission meeting on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. I would like to call the meeting to order and start with a roll call.
Hold on one second. Will Commissioner Way, I think the audio just needs to test. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Commissioner Deng,
Here.
Commissioner Kleinhaus,
Yes.
Commissioner Way,
Here.
Chair Freeman,
Here.
Commissioner Brown,
Here.
Commissioner Smith,
Here.
and Commissioner Axelrod.
Remotely here.
Great. Well, before we move to public comments, I want to welcome the new commissioners to the commission. Glad to have you on board. Thank you. So now's the opportunity for public comments for those who want to address the commission on non-agenda items. If there are any members of the public who are in person and who would like to address the commission in person, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the clerk. If you are on Zoom, please raise your hand and the clerk will acknowledge your presence.
There are currently no hands raised in person or on Zoom.
Okay, we'll move on to our first agenda item, which is the approval of the minutes. Would like to see if there's any agenda changes, additions, and deletions to the agenda for Tuesday, November 25th. Nope, done. Okay, I'd like to have an approval of the minutes from October 28th. We can go ahead and, is there any, I get a first, second motion on that? Need an approval, the motion to approve the minutes for October 28th. Anyone have, you were here, right? You were here, Commissioner Kleinhaus?
I'll make the motion. Oh, yes.
Okay,
I second.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Way?
I was absent, so.
So this is to approve the, yeah,
Abstain.
okay. Chair Freeman,
I approve, yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Abstain.
Commissioner Smith,
Excuse me, I abstain.
Commissioner Deng,
Yes.
and Commissioner Kleinhaus.
Yes.
I believe that is, oh, sorry. And Commissioner Axelrod.
Abstain.
Okay, good, okay. We have no council liaison report, so we'll move on to item number 2 on the agenda, which is the department report.
Good evening, Commissioners. While the report's being pulled up, I'll start by welcoming everyone to the holiday season. The tree lighting at Lytton Plaza will be taking place on Friday, December 5th from 5:30 to 7. If you want to advance to the next slide, you'll see that flyer. We welcome the whole family and all to come and celebrate. There will be live entertainment, light refreshments, carols. More information is available on the city website. Additionally, the city will be participating in a toy drive. We are collecting new and unwrapped toys, books, gift cards, as well as other gifts. The last day to donate will be December 14th. All donations will go to local youth, and we're partnering with churches, Alta House, and last year we donated a portion to the Ronald McDonald House as well. And drop-off locations include our community centers, so Mitchell Park, Lucy Stern, all of our libraries, in addition to our firehouse. Local businesses will also reach out and have their own donation boxes as well. If you advance to the next slide, you will see our Cubberly activation. We are having a family movie night series as part of the CSD staff effort to keep Cubberly Community Center campus activated and engaged during the master plan process. Community services staff will host the events, just hosted the event. It's a 3-part series, as I mentioned, at the Cubberly Theater. Our first one was held November 10th, featuring the screening of Coco. This fun series is offered for the whole family, and it's a good way to bring people together on that campus. Approximately 70 people attended the first movie, and the next film will be The Polar Express, which we are showing December 16th, and we hope to see you there. Next slide. In terms of Cubberly updates, we had a few changes since the last meeting. I will just kind of underscore that the final presentation to City Council will continue to be at the December 5th. However, we plan to come back and provide an update to the Parks and Rec Commission at your January agenda. So next slide. The Enjoy catalog was actually our last mailed catalog. It was mailed mid-month. It's also available online. Just want to underscore that resident registration is happening in the upcoming week, December 4th at 10 a.m. Non-residents, December 11th. We're moving towards transitioning to full electronic rather than mailed. We will have a number of copies, however, printed, available for pickup at our community centers. Staff will be posting upcoming seasons of the activity guide on social media, and staff will be working with the communications team to ensure that everything goes out in the Uplift local. We plan to also send e-blasts to those who are currently registered and to get notification of when new catalogs and opportunities are highlighting. This change is part of the cost-saving measures for the department. So next slide. There was a lengthy turf study discussion just this last Monday, November 17th at City Council. There was a motion created to create an ad hoc committee to further discuss with staff and to bring it back to City Council. Since that meeting, an ad hoc comprised of Mayor Lowing, Vice Mayor Vinker, and Council Member Burt was established, and we have held one meeting. Due to the holidays, we're planning to anticipate a return to City Council in January. Next slide. The Stanford Palo Alto Community Playing Fields installation has been complete. We are currently working on the punch list. We're doing PFAS testing, and we're targeting a December 6th, which is a Saturday opening. And after the opening, there'll be still some final updates that will be made, which include replacement of safety netting on the north field, in addition to light pole pads and additional signage added. Next slide. So moving along to golf, just to provide some background for some of our newer commissioners. the golf course was reconstructed in 2017, 2018, and renovated, creating a new, more modern layout, and it also included important wetland restoration work. As part of this project, the city successfully expanded and enhanced wetland areas on site, resulting in a healthier, larger habitat than previously existed. To ensure long-term success, the next step is a 5-year monitoring program. The city is preparing to hire a specialized ecological firm to complete this work, with monitoring anticipated to begin in the spring of 2026. Overall, this past year and a half, the city has continued to care for wetlands throughout, making additional improvements to the effort, which have removing unintentionally like footpaths, planting native species, mulching, making drainage adjustments. Staff has also been working with the golf course operator to educate golfers and protect sensitive areas with strategic fencing. Together, these efforts reflect the city's ongoing commitment to supporting thriving and well-functioning wetland ecosystem at Baylands. And then this past few weeks, which is featured on the slides, staff has been working on implementing a remedial plan, which we've been working with a team to restore some of the wetlands, so removing those invasive plants, seeding with a wetland seed mix, and laying down straw mulch. Later in the fall, when the plants will be installed as part of the test plot for assessment in the spring. Based on the pending results, more areas are planned to be seeded and/or planted. And this effort is all a path forward to improving the native cover. Next slide. So the Baylands sand top dressing has been completed. This was a CIP that was outlined in this fiscal year's budget. This work was completed by the golf course operators crews that applied sand to the playing areas following aeration, fertilization, which helps smooth out, reduce thatch buildup, and protect new growth of the turf. This work is especially important for seashore paspalum, the grass used on the course, as it requires consistent top dressing to maintain peak playability and healthy root development. Completing this maintenance increases the turf resilience, improves drainage, and enhances overall course quality for the golfer experience. Next slide. Johnson Park, as part of the budget reductions, Johnson Park was pushed out and deferred, but our Public Works team, we had some safety concerns. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen of uneven pathways, and therefore, our Public Works team was able to partner with us and complete quite a bit of resurfacing work to extend its useful life. So wanted to highlight there and thank our partners in Public Works. Next slide. We have two different turf renovations. I also kind of wanted to end with, to the left of your screen, in-house staff are renovating the Baylands Athletic Center. They're using 50 tons of infield mix, which were added to the softball and baseball fields, filling in low spots, aeration, seeding, also performing infield and outfield work. We're also adding some layers of compostable mix, which will be added to the natural turf areas. And then on the right-hand side with Bullware, staff has been working with the Ventura neighborhood and providing updates on Bullware. And we have right now completed a replacement of the grass in the meadow area with a sport turf sod mix. And that meadow area is completely fenced off right now for the sod establishment. And we are anticipating removing and opening it the week of December 15th. So that concludes my report.
Okay, as always, thank you for a very well thought out and informative report. I will, and sounds like Coverly movie night went well. And one of the questions I was going to ask was the number of attendees, but I think you said something like 77 people. Is that what you expected? Was there, how did you estimate the number of people that would show up for that?
Yeah, great question. I think because it was the first, we weren't sure how it would go. We were excited that there were 70, and we hope that as they continue, more people will show up, but time will tell.
So it was held in the theater.
In the theater.
How did the word get out to people? I assume it was a free event, right?
Correct. It was free. It's not only with the Coverly contacts and those who have been requesting Coverly updates, but we've also been putting it in our Uplift Local, so on our social media, all kind of the normal areas where we outline, in our city website, of course.
Good. Do you know if there were like first timers that we started tracking who's coming? Because part of why we wanted to do it at Coverly was to get more visibility for Coverly.
Yeah,
for
great.
people who've never been there, that type of thing.
Yeah, I should have included that. I did hear that it drew people to Coverly for the very first time, which is part of the Coverly activation and the thought process behind that. So you're correct. First timers were there.
Yeah, that would be great, something to be able to track going forward to make sure you get some solid numbers, and that would be something that would be shared with the Coverly groups that are involved in the work that's going to be done there. So good job on that. Before I ask any more questions, I'll pass it on to other commissioners. Let's start at Rogers then. Commissioner. You have
I say no.
okay. Commissioner Brown.
I don't have any questions, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for a robust report. Thank you for a robust report. On the Enjoy catalog, making the change, and nice to see that we were still able to plug the Friends of and the other feedback that the commission had given. Do you guys know already if you're going to do the same format online, or if you're looking at other ways where maybe we could track what people are clicking on in terms of the advertisements, or if there's any other sort of opportunities? I mean, I know it's a cost savings measure, but maybe it could also be used as an opportunity for more data to inform the activities and how we're reaching people. You don't need to answer, just a thought as you
Yeah,
guys consider a change.
I appreciate that. I'll pass that along.
Okay, great, thanks.
Commissioner Wei?
Yeah, thanks for the great work, and really enjoying seeing all the progress. I echo to Chair Freeman about the family movie night. It draw attention to Coverly Center, which we have a huge community project on the way. If you need help advertising, I'm visiting Youth Council again first week of December. Can help you if there's leaflets or linked I can send to them. And they probably will be the audience together with their parents. And also, I really enjoyed, it's not mentioned here, but the Enjoy catalog, first time we have a staff team on the cover. I really enjoy seeing your faces, knowing how much hard work you've been putting into the whole community, and I think that it's really well deserved. We should do more of that, instead of just, kids playing, we don't know the names of them. Then the golf remedial plan looks wonderful, and maybe it's a question, when's the timeline to complete? That's probably a question I'll save for later. Also, congratulations for the sand dressing for the golf course as well. And the Johnson's Park right next to me, glad to see the pathway updated, easy for my crutches and strollers for young moms. Thank you, it's great work, thanks.
Mr. Kleinhaus?
Thank you, and thank you for the report. I have a couple of questions. About Bulwer Park, what are you replacing? I'm not sure I followed
The meadow was originally a different type of grass, and the neighborhood, in addition to staff, were unhappy with the outcomes. And so we, as part of the punch list, we are working on putting in what the community would like to see, in addition to making the park look nicer.
Thank you. Are there any plans to replace the plastic turf that many of the community members were concerned with at the playground?
Are you speaking specifically to Bulwer?
Yeah?
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know?
Currently, there's no plans to replace the playground surfacing.
Okay, thank you for these clarifications. About the golf course remediation work. So this was the mitigation requirements for mitigation reporting that was delayed for 10 years. So I'm glad to see it's moving forward. The mulch there makes me think that this was an invasion of paspalum into area where it shouldn't be. Is that true? Are you working to remove paspalum from the wetland areas? Is that what's being done there?
I don't have the specifics
Okay.
of that, but I can find out.
All right. Did the water board approve, or is the discussion with the water board complete? Did they approve the plan? And we know that what is being done now is going to be okay by the water board. I'm all for starting earlier rather than later. I mean, I think it's great that we're moving forward, even if the water board has not yet approved it, but I would like to know, so.
We have been working with the water board. We have not gotten approval.
Okay. Thank you for that. Because they'll have to probably look at the success criteria and, go back to what the commitments of the EIR in 2014. So it's been more than 10 years. The other questions I had, there were a few public comment letters that were sent to us that expressed concern. One of them was about noisy air conditioning system right next to a playground. The other one was about overlighting in Seal Park. How does staff respond to those?
Yeah, thank you for flagging that. We have started responses, and those will be in your packet moving forward. So
Great.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Tang?
Yeah. Thank you for a great report. Glad to hear so many accomplished projects. I just have one quick question about the Copley project. In terms of the final presentation to council, do you know what kind of progress we will hear from them?
I know the findings of the second poll, I believe, will be released because the second poll was done earlier this month. So that will be incorporated. Other than that, I'm not sure what else.
Okay, thank you.
One more question. You mentioned on the golf side that they're watching to make sure there's no infringement on the areas that we had before where people, golfers were retrieving balls. If that continues to be a problem, has that been resolved, and is that something that's still being monitored?
Oh, it's definitely still being monitored.
Okay,
Yes.
but it's not gotten any worse, or it has gotten any better?
It's definitely gotten better. The problem is diminishing. I think with educating golfers and continuing with the signage, in addition to, we reported in May, we also reported that we provided some split rail fencing in areas, and that is working quite well.
Okay. And my last question is on the Baylands Athletic Center. Could you provide more detail as to what's involved with I guess there's some turf replacement that's happening there, so repair? What detail is?
Yeah, renovations, so they're aerating, fertilizing, overseeding, and providing like a top dress or a compost mix. So just making for a healthier root system and a playable area.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
have a
thank you.
couple quick questions.
Commissioner Wei.
Yeah, so I have a couple of quick questions too. So for the golf course, the remedial plan looks really great. Looking forward to see the native cover. Is there a timeline to complete the project? And do we also do similar audience or residents education to make sure the area is being protected and preserved?
Yeah, so that's something we'll continue to do, but we'll provide a more robust, likely update when we have the golf update. Something that we're anticipating is for the monitoring to start in spring of 2026, so early next year, and it would be a 5-year monitoring plan, so.
Fantastic. And also the December 6th park opening, is there any ribbon cutting events, et cetera, or just announcement to the residents?
It would just be an announcement. It's a maintenance
Okay, so it's
item,
not-
so,
no,
yeah.
Got it, okay, thanks.
Okay, again, thanks for the report. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that's Commissioner Axelrod.
Axelrod, sorry. It's not an easy one, blame my parents. Yeah, wonderful report on everything that's going on. We always love the holiday tree lighting, so looking forward to seeing that again. I did have a couple of questions. Was on Baylands doing some renovations. I'm just wondering, is that all being coordinated along with the golf course? Because it was just interesting to see what kind of plants were being planted to do that, and the delays in the horizontal levee that was supposed to be done. I'm just wondering if that got done. And then for the Mayfield Park, what is the plan to start using it, getting it reserved, et cetera? And the last question is, it's exciting to see the catalog move to an all digital format. I just don't know if there's still people that were relying on paper format. Are we doing any more marketing on it? Do we expect the same kind of usage, or is there going to be any expectation of drop off due to no paper?
Yeah, so great questions. Let me see if I can get them all, and then you might need to remind me which ones I may or may not forget. So I think starting off with Baylands and the golf course for some of the plantings, different projects. So there's the horizontal levee is a completely different project. Then we have Baylands Athletic Center, which is two baseball and a softball field. Those are our in-house teams doing that. And then the golf course, we're working with a specialist on that for the remedial plan. Then kind of switching to, I believe it was, next up was Mayfield. Yeah, we're ready to start programming. So there's a tournament play that will be happening on the 6th. So if all goes well next week with the punch list and signing off, we'll have play starting. So there's that. And then lastly, if you can refresh my memory, what the
Digital format and usage, do we expect any drop?
Yeah, I think that's something actually we're going to be monitoring, and we'll see how it goes and look at revenues, right, and how that impacts. But I think we are also printing some, so if people still would like something to hold, if that's the format that works for them, we still will have that available. We're planning to print roughly 1,500, so each time. So we'll have that available, and I think as time we can pivot, but at least right now we're planning to work in marketing with all of our website, our comms team to reach the broadest market.
On the similar line of the digital.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay,
Let's
sorry.
see. Commissioner Al-Kharadi, you finished? I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that reminds me actually, the digital format of the Enjoy catalog. So I mentioned to have a QR code so people can open multilingual. I wonder that was implemented or not. I haven't really checked myself. So that might be some features in a digital format can benefit the first-generation immigrants in this city.
Okay, I'll definitely pass that along and look into that.
Just to tag in on that, so are we giving people, I guess, will we be giving people an option at some point in time to opt in for an online versus a printed copy? Is that the thought? No?
No, this was our last mailed copy, and from there, we're going to transition to digital.
Okay, cool. And how are new people added? Are they added based on moving into the area, their address and the utility bills, or?
In regards to what?
Receiving on the Envoy magazine?
Well, I guess it would be found now online only. Yeah, so.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 3, Community Garden Program Update. Looking forward to that one.
Okay, let's talk some gardens, huh? All right, good evening, commissioners. My name is Eric Vidal, and I am the Recreation Coordinator with Open Space Parks and Golf for the City of Palo Alto. And thank you for allowing me to present to you this evening. Tonight, I will be providing general informational update on the city's community garden program, where I will be going over the following topics: the garden's overall mission, garden locations, garden participants, discounts and fees, the city's overall role, volunteer groups, events, and our 2026 updates. We will begin tonight by reviewing the mission statement for the program, which states, "The Palo Alto Community Gardens are places where gardeners adhere to organic gardening principles, concepts, and practices with mutual respect for their gardening neighbors." This mission statement reflects a commitment to both environmental stewardship and community values. For Palo Alto residents, this means that our program sites are managed without synthetic pesticides or fertilizers, helping protect local soil health, pollinators, and the broader ecosystem. Equally important is the expectation of mutual respect among gardeners. This principle fosters a welcoming, collaborative atmosphere where individuals of all ages and backgrounds can grow food, learn from one another, and share in a sense of collective responsibility. Together, these values strengthen Palo Alto's identity as a community that prioritizes sustainability and inclusivity while making the community gardens a meaningful and positive resource for all residents. Established in the 1970s, the Community Gardens program has steadily grown and truly flourished, evolving into a vibrant network of 5 garden sites across the city. Arrostrojero, Eleanor Pardee, Johnson, Rinconada, and Ventura are the 5 gardens within the city. Together, these locations now support more than 420 garden plots, offering residents meaningful opportunities to grow food, connect with nature, or get to know their community. At each of our community garden sites, we are fortunate to have dedicated volunteer liaisons. These liaisons play an essential role in supporting the program by helping move waitlists forward, assisting gardeners in understanding and following guidelines, or noticing and reporting maintenance issues to staff. Although this program is overseen by the city, its success truly relies in Palo Alto's gardener community and the energy, enthusiasm, and skill of the gardeners who bring these spaces to life. Much like my predecessor did a year ago when they presented, I would also like to take a moment to formally acknowledge our volunteer liaisons and express my sincere appreciation for the dedication they contribute. Their commitment for fostering a stronger, more connected, and a welcoming garden community is invaluable, and we truly are grateful for all they contribute. As I am still new to the role, they have assisted me in this transitional period, welcoming me to the role and sharing their knowledge and expertise to their respective gardens. That being said, there is still a few challenges that our garden still faces this year that still remains from previous years. The first challenge is accommodating diverse gardening techniques and practices. This includes different planting methods, structures, and cultural growing traditions that do not always fit easily with our shared guidelines or limited space. Balancing these varied approaches can be difficult, especially when certain techniques impact neighboring plots, pathways, or overall site maintenance. Because of this, community garden guidelines are in place to help ensure that gardeners have a safe and well-maintained place to garden, and all gardeners abide by the same gardening practices. All gardeners are made aware of these guidelines when they initially sign up, and they are given reminders or notices should they be in violation of any of our guidelines. Another challenge is the demand for available plots. The program has a very high interest and very limited space. Current waitlist inquiries are received on a weekly basis. Lastly, prior vacancy in program management was another issue. The program was without a dedicated coordinator for more than 6 months, and during that time, staffing resources were very limited. As a result, regular plot monitoring occurred less frequently, and some gardeners, understandably, became more relaxed with the regulations due to the reduced presence of staff and enforcement. While this created a few setbacks, we're excited to share that with full staffing restored, we are already seeing positive momentum as we reestablish consistent oversight, support, and communication across all garden sites. As mentioned, there are 5 community garden locations in the city of Palo Alto, each with their own unique characteristics. The first garden is Rinconada Community Garden. It's located next to the Rinconada Library and by the Palo Alto Art Center. It has a total of 195 plots, making it the largest community garden. This garden, as well as Eleanor Pardee, are registered monarch butterfly way stations, meaning there is a dedicated garden space that supports monarch butterflies as they migrate through North America. These areas offer essential milkweed, reliable nectar sources, and safe shelter, which are critical to sustaining their life cycle and helping their populations thrive. The site is also has dedicated Girl Scout plots, which has provided an educational opportunity for local Girl Scout troops over the years by offering a hands-on environment where young learners can explore the fundamentals of gardening. Lastly, this garden is the most visible of the 5 and has the highest foot traffic due to its proximity due to the Rinconada Library and Palo Alto Art Center. Its location naturally creates unique educational opportunities as the Art Center incorporates visits to the garden into their curriculum, allowing students to practice their skills while engaging with the beauty and diversity of the space. The current liaisons at this garden are Annie, Chanda, and Kavita. The next garden, Eleanor Pardee Garden, is located at Eleanor Pardee Park, with the garden access road located along Center Drive. This garden is just a few blocks away from Rinconada Community Garden. There are 109 plots at Eleanor Community Garden, and some fun features about this garden include the Palo Alto Demonstration Garden. This is a large designated garden area that showcases best practices that are operated by Master Gardeners of Santa Clara County, which is an extension of the University of California organization. Master Gardeners are at the garden every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to noon, from May through October, weather permitting. Residents and gardeners are encouraged to visit during this time, as it is an opportunity for public to explore and ask questions. The first Saturdays of the month frequently include a workshop. This year, public education classes attracted 133 attendees, and Open Garden Saturdays welcomed 98 visitors interested in learning more about garden practices. The community garden is also known, or this community garden is also known as, or also the location of the compost giveaway station, operated by the Public Works Department Zero Waste Division. This station provides Palo Alto residents a location to pick up free compost. Residents can pick up a maximum of 96 gallons per week while supplies last. It is the only compost pile in the city that can be used by all residents. Compost located at other gardens is for the use of gardeners only. The garden liaisons here are Penny and Shuyi. Up next, we have Johnson Garden, located in downtown Palo Alto at 200 Waverly Street. This small but vibrant garden is featured in a densely populated area and has a total of 38 plots. Most recently, the company Salesforce volunteered their services to repaint the fence at this location. The garden liaison for this garden is Rod. Ventura Garden is located at the Ventura Community Center and features 48 total plots. Many of these plots are also actively used by nearby schools, such as Country Day Little School, where teachers incorporate the gardens into hands-on lessons for their students. These plots give young learners a chance to explore nature and understand where food comes from. It's a wonderful example of how our community gardens serve not just individual gardeners, but also schools, families, and the broader community, highlighting just how vital these spaces are for learning, connection, and enrichment for all. Our new liaison for this location is Ananda. Just started about 2 weeks ago. Lastly, we got Rostradero Garden. It's located in the same parking area where the Palo Alto Christian Reformed Church is. There's 33 plots. Unique to this garden is that the garden area is owned by the church on site. Some background on this is that starting last year, April of 2024, the city and the church entered a renewed 5-year agreement for city use of this garden space with an option to extend for an additional 5-year period. Our garden liaisons at this location is Mark, Natasha, and Laurel. This next slide shows just the location of all the community gardens within the city. You have Rinconada, Eleanor, Johnson, Ventura, and Rostradero. All of our sites are open to the public to enjoy, and we welcome residents to walk through and appreciate the beauty of these spaces. However, we kindly remind visitors not to pick any flowers, fruits, or vegetables from the plots, as they belong to the gardeners who tend them. We encourage everyone to take photos, admire the work being done, and enjoy the gardens respectfully so that they can continue to thrive. So, signing up for a garden. So to become a gardener, you would need to be a Palo Alto resident who is 18 years of older. Proof of age and residency is required upon signing up. And then some fun garden participant facts. Upon reviewing our registered participants this year, it was determined that seniors are a significant and highly engaged part of our community garden program, representing nearly half of all participants, with 47 registering as seniors. Participation does vary somewhat from garden to garden, but overall, seniors play a vital role in the program, bringing experience, dedication, and a strong sense of community to our garden sites. And on the slide, you can see the varying percentages of seniors at each garden. Families represent another important demographic within our community garden. But because multiple family members often share a single plot, it can be challenging to calculate the exact percentage of plot used by families. Nevertheless, we know that these shared plots provide valuable opportunities for parents and children to garden together, learn sustainable practices, and engage in hands-on environmental education, strengthening both family bonds and community connections. So the fees and discounts here, community garden billing is done on a calendar year basis. The billing cycle begins every January, and the fee payment closes March 1st. The city follows the adopted municipal fee schedule approved by City Council for the fiscal year and currently charges 96 cents per square feet. Water is provided at no additional cost. In addition to the annual billing, there is a one-time refundable deposit due at time of sign-up, and the current deposit amount is $213. Deposits are only refunded when a gardener who is leaving the program gives notice they are leaving and make sure to remove all weeds, structures, and plants from their plot before leaving. If the gardener remains in good standing for the year, their license is renewed the following year, provided payment is made by the deadline. It is important to note that all plots vary in size, so that the total fee varies by the plot. Moving into discounts, where eligibility applies, we offer 3 different discounts in accordance with our adopted municipal fee schedule. The first is the senior discount, which states that any plot holder who is 60 years of age or older is eligible to receive a 25% discount. The next is the fee reduction program, which states that any eligible plot holder may apply for a 50% discount on program fees based on household income. For more information on this program, or if you wish to apply to the program, you can visit paloalto.gov/enjoy. The volunteer liaison discount is our last discount. So in this one, the plot fees are waived in recognition of all the services that the volunteers do. So no plot fees for the year. And then one last thing to mention is that we do not combine discounts. Gardeners receive whichever is the highest discount they qualify for. Up next, we got the city's role. So the city's role in managing the community garden programs include providing a community space, creating and maintaining welcoming, well-managed garden sites that offer residents a place to grow food, connect with nature, and build a sense of community. Collaborating with liaisons who help share information, encourage adherence to guidelines, and serve as an important communication bridge between gardeners and staff, ensuring smooth day-to-day operations. Issuing garden licenses and collecting and processing billing information, including issuing annual garden license, managing payments, maintaining accurate records, and ensuring transparent and equitable access for all participants. Providing a point of contact for Palo Alto residents, serving as the primary resource for residents seeking to join the program, offering guidance on availability, explaining program expectations, and ensuring fair and timely placement on the wait list. Providing gardens with wood chips, compost, and on-site vegetative recycling services by supplying essential materials that support soil health and sustainable gardening practices, while also coordinating on-site recycling services that help gardeners responsibly process plant waste and reduce landfill contributions. Maintenance and repair of the in-ground water system. Staff oversee the upkeep of the garden irrigation infrastructure, including troubleshooting leaks and pressure issues, performing repairs, and ensuring reliable water access for gardeners throughout the growing season. And then lastly, purchase supplies for maintenance and procure necessary tools, materials, and equipment for support, ongoing maintenance needs, and ensure each garden remains functional and well cared for. Staff will also collaborate with city urban forestry staff on trees and roots disturbing plots. Next, I wanted to talk about some volunteer groups that do a lot of work at our community gardens. So the strength of our community garden program is rooted in the dedication of our gardeners, liaisons, and the volunteer organizations that support these spaces. One of our most impactful partners is the UC Master Gardeners of Santa Clara County, who operate in Palo Alto's demonstration garden at the Eleanor Pardee site. Their expertise and commitment provide invaluable education opportunities for the community, showcasing sustainable, water-wise, and edible gardening practices that residents and gardeners can learn from and apply in their own plots. From July 2024 to June 2025, the Master Gardeners were able to accomplish the following feats. Over 1,600 hours of volunteered services from 24 Master Gardeners were done at the Palo Alto Demonstration Garden. 210 hours from community members were done at that garden. There were 209 visitors of community volunteers during their Monday and Friday work days, and 560 pounds of fresh produce were donated to the downtown food closet. Another group that has made a difference within our community is Hands On Bay Area. Their organization connects individual, corporations, and nonprofits with the meaningful volunteer opportunities throughout our region, mobilizing thousands of community members each year to serve schools, parks, and other vital organizations. This year, Eleanor Pardee Community Garden was able to utilize their services to assist in garden maintenance for multiple projects throughout the year. And here we have some photos of, I think the most recent company was SAP, and I believe these photos are of Logitech from last year. So some of the events happening at the community garden related to garden programming include the Harvest Potluck at Eleanor. So Eleanor Pardee Community Gardeners organize a harvest potluck in the fall for all gardeners at that location. So they share some of their season's harvest with each other, and they all meet up and have a good time. The Palo Alto Demonstration Garden, I have mentioned, they also provide workshops on a monthly basis. I believe it's the first Saturday of the month. They offer usually workshops every Saturday, but for specific workshops, it's that first Saturday of the month. Next, we got gardener work days. So within our guidelines, 4 hours of volunteer work is mandated towards cleanup of common areas, and scheduled work days are assigned throughout the year to ensure that gardeners meet this requirement. Usually these work days are once a month at the respectful gardens, each location. The next one, I believe, is coming up this Sunday, not this Sunday, the first Sunday of December at Rinconada, and I believe the first Sunday as well for Eleanor. Another event happening is the Lucy Stern Community Center also hosts free gardening workshops operated by the county. Some upcoming workshops include composting basics, where you can learn how to turn your yard trimmings and food scraps into compost at home. Residents can receive a free compost bin or worm bin by attending a compost workshop. Workshops are sponsored by the City of Palo Alto, Recycling and Waste Reduction Commission of Santa Clara County, and UCCE Master Composters. The next workshop will be April 25th of next year. And now I'm going to go into a little bit of the 2026 updates of what we have going on in our future. I'm currently working on establishing a regional resource sharing group with local cities of Santa Clara. The city's next meeting with this group of fellow garden coordinators, so it's tentatively scheduled for February. The goal is to have this group meet with neighboring cities more regularly to create a collaborative space where staff can exchange best practices, troubleshoot common challenges, and learn from the successes and innovations happening in neighboring jurisdictions. Through this network, cities can share educational materials, volunteer resources, operational strategies. It also allows coordinators to stay aligned on emerging issues such as water conservation requirements, pest management trends, and evolving community expectations around garden use. Besides that, additionally in 2026, we will begin utilizing the volunteer groups such as Hands On Bay Area at other gardens. Currently, they only have been doing projects at Eleanor Pardee Garden. We're looking to share the wealth here and have these community groups assist other gardens for their project needs. Besides these additional resources, the city will continue to meet with liaisons for walkthroughs and ensure that guidelines are maintained at all gardens, overall increasing community within each of the gardens and gardens liaisons. So next, I just wanted to showcase a few images that our community gardeners wish to highlight. These images are of the Girl Scouts' recent visit to Rinconada Garden. In these photos, we can see one of our liaisons at Rinconada, Annie, providing a tour to a local Girl Scout troop. Although the troop was very young, they assisted in planting flowers, showing that it's never too early to begin gardening. Some of the wildlife at our garden. So our community garden also plays an important role in supporting local wildlife in meaningful and positive ways. By emphasizing organic practices, diverse planting, and habitat-friendly garden design, these spaces provide food, shelter, and safe corridors for pollinators, songbirds, beneficial insects, and other urban wildlife. Collectively, our gardeners contribute to a healthier, more resilient urban environment that benefits both residents and the wildlife that share our community. In this picture, we have a field mouse enjoying some buckwheat. a western fence lizard getting some sun, a monarch resting on some autumn grapevines, and if you can see it here, there's a barn owl that was outside Rinconada looking for its next meal. So now the vegetation. So this slide showcases just a fraction of what our gardeners have achieved this year, from tomatoes to zucchinis and chilies to cauliflowers. The images demonstrate the rich diversity of crops that flourish here. By fostering biodiversity, our gardeners contribute to a more resilient, ecologically balanced city that both our natural environment and community members who enjoy these shared green spaces. And then, for any commissioner or resident looking to find out more information about the community garden program, I have provided my contact information on this screen. I've also provided the links to the community garden webpage, composting workshops, and the fee reduction application information. So that concludes my presentation. I just wanted to say thank you, commissioners, for your time this evening and for your continued support of the community garden program. As you've seen throughout this presentation, our gardens are far more than plots of land. They are vibrant living spaces where residents come together to grow food, learn from one another, and build meaningful connections. From seniors who bring decades of experience to families exploring gardens together, to schools, Girl Scouts, and volunteers who transform these spaces through service and curiosity, our gardens truly reflect the heart of Palo Alto. They embody sustainability, education, biodiversity, and community spirit all at once. So I just wanted to thank you all again for your time here, and I am now available for questions.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the presentation for the Community Garden Program, which is a very valuable resource to the community, one that I'm very familiar with myself, so thank you for that. Before I turn this over to for public comments, I'm going to ask if there's any commissioners that have any clarifying questions to ask. Commissioner Kleinhaus.
Do you use any rodenticides in the gardens?
No, we do not use rodenticides in the gardens.
Thank you.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes, how many people would be on the waiting list?
So the most accurate number I have, so the way our waiting list works is we have multiple waiting lists depending on which garden you want to sign up for, so it's per each garden. Currently, right now, it is the end of the season, so we are having a lot of turnover, so there's movement happening amongst the wait list. But what I looked at today, it looks like Arrastradero has 3 people on their wait list, Eleanor has 8, Johnson has 17, Rinconada about 22, but that could be, like I said, there's movement on that one. Ventura has 9, and we have a section called any section, so if a gardener doesn't know which garden they want, they just want the first available plot, they'll say, I want any garden, and there are currently 6 people on the any list, so.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Commissioner Wei?
Yeah, I have a few questions. Firstly,
Clarifying only, please.
Yeah. It's a related question about the waiting list, because I understand Johnson's Park's next to me, neighbors waiting for 2 years. Do we have any data? How long they're waiting now?
So the wait lists have, as far as the wait time, it does vary per garden. Johnson is a smaller garden, so it doesn't have much movement. Since I started, there has only been 1 person moved off that wait list, and it's been 6 months.
So it's a 6 months waiting list,
It varies,
improvement.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and also the age limits, maybe I'll leave it for next one, the 18 years older. I'm just curious whether this is a long haul for somebody who's youth liaison. Would we, motivate 16 years older, because you can register vote 16 years older now?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, families do work on plots together, so that's kind of how we get around this. It's usually the parent will register for the plot, but still it'll be them and their child, or the child doing a lot of the gardening themselves, so.
Got it. But we don't have family discounts, right, to encourage them to bring more children?
We do not have family discounts,
Okay,
no.
thank you.
Okay, and just to tab in on that particular question, was the assignment work from the point a plot becomes available? And so, is it based on first come, first served? And then how much notice is given and what kind of paperwork does a person receive?
Yeah, so the way our wait list works is they get 2 chances before they are removed from the wait list. So essentially, if we reach out to them, they choose not to take it the first time, we give them another chance, and after that, then unfortunately, we have to remove them. When it comes to people not responding to, say, our messages or phone calls, we give them 2 days. So it's a 2-day limit. And then after that 2 days, we try again. It's another 2 days. After that, then they're removed from the wait list.
Okay. And along with that question about how often plots become available. So are the liaisons the one who are actually enforcing, walking around to see if there's a plot that has been in disarray for a long period of time? I know when people are doing a turnover from, one season to the other, but, I've seen some plots that are been like that for a long time. So that seems to be, if a plot has not been, worked on for 6 months or 7 months or even a couple of weeks, I would think that would be a candidate or to give out to someone who's on the wait list who would probably, take better care of that plot.
Yeah, no, and our liaisons are working really hard in getting me to send these notices. Like, as I mentioned, some of the gardeners in our program here have become lax with the guidelines, so it is still in our guidelines that we do need to follow the 30-day mandate. So if we send them a notice, they still technically have 30 days before we can boot them out, so to say. So they would have 30 days, then after that, if we don't see an improvement, they would have yet another 30 days. So in all, it would take 60 days to kick out somebody who is not gardening.
Now, has that been a practice that's been implemented?
That is currently what I've been implementing. I have started moving forward with some terminations as it gets closer to the end of the year here, yeah.
Okay, and one last question. I note that and you mentioned that the guidelines, I note that was written in 2019 and still in a draft form. Is that the document that you provide to new gardeners? And if so, can we also make that available to the commissioners?
Yeah, we can make that available to you, but yeah, that would be the document that we provide.
So there's no updates that has happened on that for the last 6 years?
I believe the last update was, is it 2020?
Well, I'll just note that I want to clarify that it's not in draft form, and it is available on our website, but we can email those guidelines out to the commission.
Okay, but that was, 2019 was when that was drafted, right?
Yes, I believe that is our latest.
So is that something that will eventually be updating and bringing that to the commission to review at some point?
Yeah, in the near future, we would like to relook at it. I know, speaking to the liaisons that have been looking at the gardens over the years, I know there's some words and vagueness to our guidelines that they would like more clarification on. And so it's something that for sure I'm speaking with the liaisons, trying to figure out what exactly we all want moving forward before we bring this up to the commission.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up to public comments.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir.
Chair, Commissioner Axelrod also.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not in front of me, so thank you for everyone who reminded. Not intentionally eliminating you there, Commissioner.
No offense taken. Hard to miss the digital content. So said about the gardens, curious on the programs such as educational visits and the Girl Scouts. Is there any facilitation or outreach, or is that all done through the liaisons, or how's that being facilitated?
Yeah, so currently it's been through the liaisons. I'm looking into getting more outreach done. I'm hoping eventually to reach out to like PAUSD, or yeah, so that we can we utilize their volunteer services to help clean up some of the gardens. That's what we're looking forward to.
Okay, thank you. Any public comments?
There are currently no raised hands in Zoom or in person.
Okay, wait.
No.
Wait, do you have to? You have to fill out a card.
Oh, I have to.
Okay.
I just wanted to say I'm the co-lead for the Palo Alto Demonstration Guard. My name is Edith Lynn, and we do classes February usually to November on the first Saturday of each month at 10 a.m. And then we have an open garden where people are welcome to come and ask questions every Saturday of the month from February to October.
Which
So-
garden you do?
It's at the Palo Alto Demonstration Garden is at Eleanor Pardee Park.
Okay.
And the Waterwise Garden, and there's a long alternative area, is always open to the public. And then the Edible Garden is open on the workdays, Monday, Friday mornings, and Saturday mornings. Yeah. So, and we would love to do more educational programs with kids. And so we're very excited about getting a bathroom at Eleanor Pardee Park, because that's been a limitation for us to do educational programs for kids. So thank you for moving forward with that.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments, and thanks for the information. I appreciate that. Okay, I think you indicated there are no public speakers.
There are no additional speakers.
Okay, I'll open it up to the commission.
I have one actually clarification on
Okay.
the guidelines were last updated in 2021 rather than 19.
And that's the one that's on the website?
Yes, and I will be sending that to you shortly.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Commissioners Brown.
Thank you. As a former liaison to the community gardens, I know a lot of the work that goes into this. So thank you to Eric for taking this on, and to our volunteers and their gardeners for supporting this rich program. I'll definitely need to go to the demonstration garden. I can kill a fake succulent, not to brag or anything. I'm not a very good gardener, but would love to learn. I really like this structure because it's volunteer-based, which is really the core of the city, and I like the new volunteers helping volunteers to do some of the maintenance, and I think a lot of those people can help expand the program's visibility. Something that we'd struggled with in past years is the need for more spaces to address the demand, and we're short on space in Palo Alto, especially for park space. But in bringing those volunteers in and improving the visibility, we can maybe look at more partnerships like the one with the church, because I think that's probably our most realistic path forward into expanding more into southern Palo Alto, to make sure that we're in accordance with the master plan of making sure that these are evenly distributed throughout the city. So I really like that as an organic growth and word of mouth path forward. I do have a question on the fees, and is that done annually with CPI? Is it calculated with staff time? Do we feel like it's an accurate reflection, or how often is that looked at? And I don't know if we have that answer right now.
It's adjusted annually with our municipal fees.
Okay, with CPI, or is it looked at an actual staff time or not?
I'd have to get back to you on that, because I think we did address it with just previously for this last rate sheet, but I didn't circle back with that, so I can get back to you.
Okay, I just think as we're looking at the financial picture and making sure that we're cost recovery on these programs, the discounts are great, but we can't kind of lose sight of the fact that any discount program that we give or waivers, we're using general fund taxpayer dollars to subsidize a particular program out. So we need to be really deliberate with which ones we're subsidizing and making sure it's in accordance with the master plan and the commission and the council's wishes for the community. So maybe just more generally when we're looking at department budgets, just making sure that we're taking into consideration these sorts of fees that the department has. That was it. Thank you.
I'm going to pass it on to Commissioner Ackleroyd, so I don't miss out on you the next time. So we'll go ahead and let you chime in there.
I appreciate it. It's a wonderful resource, and I'm excited to see all the programs that you're doing. I've had a lot of chance encounters with kids interacting, especially as the typical age of the people that are gardening is in the seniors, and that has always been a positive interaction. So I know you're starting to think about encouraging more educational programs. I think just having more outreach, not just through the liaisons, but through individuals. I think that's something that at least I would encourage you to explore a lot more, even with preschools, not just Palo Alto Unified. But I think this is a resource that could really be done well. And from what I've seen, and I think you might or might not agree with this, but I'd love to hear your point of view. With most of the gardeners loves little kids to come around and see what they're doing and be able to tell them about why and what and show them the worms.
Commissioner Smith, I'm sorry. I'm going to go down the line.
Yeah,
Commissioner Wei,
thanks
sorry.
again, Eric, for the great report. So I want to talk about the corporate social responsibility. I'm really glad to see Salesforce painted the fence for Johnson's Park, and the SAP was involved in volunteer efforts. So is there a process we reach out to our local companies? Do we work with Palo Alto Chambers of Commerce? And how our commissioners will have tremendous experience on this commission can help you to overcome some challenges through CSR with local, either, big banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, or small business like restaurants surrounding those parks. Can provide more volunteer and maybe funding, as well as, support you to overcome your challenges and also reduce the staff you are overloaded.
Yeah, I mean, any help would be greatly appreciated. But as far as, how we've been reaching out to the hands-on Bay Area is we just have one contact. It used to be done through the liaisons, and now we've kind of taken over that role so that we can get additional projects at different gardens throughout the city. Like I mentioned, we have 2 coming up in January. I believe the tech group, well, it wouldn't be a tech group, it's a Kaiser Permanente, I believe is the one we're working on that day.
Fantastic.
Commissioner Kleinhaus?
Thank you for the presentation. It's a great program. And I also think that it would be great if we could have more families involved, and I'm not sure how to advertise to them. And I wanted to just thank you for the great horned owl picture. Those always make me happy. Thank you.
Commissioner Thel?
Thanks, Eric, for a thorough report about our amazing community garden projects. I have 2 questions. First, how do we add potential community garden plots or sites? Is there a process to propose or to find a site or collaborate with other communities? My second question is, since I was the Ohlone Elementary School PTA president before, I know we have a school farm, which includes a garden, and we are always short of volunteers, especially for our farm work day on the weekends. So is there a potential that we can collaborate with the school district and to see if we can make it a mixed-use garden? I'm being creative. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let Sarah take this one.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think we're always open to talking and seeing if it works. So we're happy to set up a meeting offline to kind of talk about it. In regards to how we explored new opportunities and locations, that's something I know we're considering at Coverly, again in South Palo Alto. It's something that we're always open to. So if any nonprofits, similar to our, the church where we have a community garden location, is interested, we will always set up a meeting. And also if it aligns with the master plan, even better. But again, to meet that demand, I think Eric's doing a great job and we are moving through that wait list. But at the same time, I think the program could be even stronger with another location, especially in South Palo Alto. So we're open to hearing, your potential partnerships as we move forward.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Kleinhaus?
There was a discussion a while ago about there's a stretch parallel to West Bay Shore Road behind the Sobrato Center and some of these other office buildings that has a trail, and there is a large area there that is been mulched. It's not really used. And I remember there were discussions of using it as a community garden. I don't know what happened to that. If anybody followed up on it, who owns it? I think it's city property. I can show you, I just looked it up on my phone, but it's sort of parallel to West Bay Shore behind the office buildings.
Yeah, this, I believe, is the first time I'm hearing about it, so I'm happy to hear more and we can explore that.
I just heard it when other commissioners talked about it a long time ago. I don't know if anybody remembers this and how to find out more information, but it's worth looking into.
Okay.
There is a path that you can walk there.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. As I mentioned before, I'm at Rinconati Garden at least once a week, trying to get my green thumb in place there. But I do see that there's a number of visitors that visit, looking at the butterflies and the flowers. But going back to, and I really wish that we could come up with some way of, well, you can tell me, like the non-maintenance or the neglect of a plots. At what point, I think you might have mentioned this, at what point do we look at a reassignment? And I know you said, well, you give them a warning for the first 30 days. Is that coming, the liaisons are the ones who are making that call?
So currently, I meet with the liaisons once a month. So just we do like a tour of the garden. Yeah, man, we walk through and see which plots need notices. I give some of the discretion to the liaisons if they want to send more of like a reminder. If it's something as small as just weeding, we don't want to be heavy-handed immediately. But when it comes to like some plots that are constant, not keeping up with the maintenance, then yeah, notices are sent. Yeah.
Have you noticed that the wait, I mean, I know you've only been in the job probably 6 to 9 months or whatever, but have you seen that the wait list is starting to shift now as a result of going out and looking at some of those plots that are not being maintained and rolling people off a lot quicker?
Yeah, so there's definitely been some improvement. I know starting on the wait list was, if you combined all the gardens, it was in the hundreds. And so we've done a lot of just making sure we're due diligence and calling the people that were there, have been there from 2024, making sure they're even still part of the city, you know? Because sometimes people move away and they're still on the wait list, so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but again, it's a very worthwhile program that the city has, and it would be great, especially if we can get something going in South Palo Alto. It seems like you look at the map, everything seems to be slanted in one location versus the other. So I think the challenge, I guess, is to find a piece of property that can be turned into a community garden that won't be going away in 5 or 6 years, because people do put a lot of work and a lot of investment into that work. And it takes a while for the soil to kind of get to where it is. So I do hope we can look at finding maybe additional land within the city that can be designated as another community garden. And hopefully that's in South Palo Alto or that near that community. Any other commissioners? Okay, again, thanks for the presentation. Very good, very well done. Okay, move on to item number 4, the first T update.
All right. Good evening, Commissioners. Sarah Robustelli, Division Manager for Open Space Parks and Golf, and I will be presenting this evening with President and CEO of First Tee Silicon Valley, George Moxie, and we will be providing you an update about First Tee. This is an informational update, and we will be providing you background, the First Tee vision, as well as upcoming projects. So if you advance to the next slide, I wanted to just start the presentation by letting you know how First Tee kind of fits within the larger golf projects and these larger golf projects that we have on the upcoming horizon within the next few years. Each of these efforts are independent but significantly influence the other. And that not only is First Tee involved, but we also have a second deck feasibility study, a CIP for a golf course netting and a turf replacement. In addition, we have our operator agreement that is expiring on June 2027. So all of these items are something to note, and maybe if they're kind of a zoomed out picture. We will be touching upon a few of these items throughout the presentation this evening. But for now, I wanted to hand it over to George to supply some background on First Tee.
Great. Great. Thank you, Sarah. Commissioners, it's nice to be with you this evening. I'm going to go through a number of points here, not every single one on this slide, but just some highlights for you. So first of all, First Tee's been around since 1997 as a national organization, and then locally we began in 1999 through San Jose Sports Authority. In 2009, we came to City of Palo Alto at then Palo Alto Muni, and have been running our program there ever since. We had a couple years where we were over at Moffett Field Golf Course. That was during the time that Palo Alto Muni was being converted to Baylands. And then as soon as the golf course reopened in May of 2018, we came back. Our service area is from Highway 92 down to Hollister, and then north to Milpitas, so all Santa Clara County, southern San Mateo County. And then we're in 3 locations, not just Baylands. We're also at Rancho del Pueblo Golf Course in East San Jose, and Gavilan College Golf Course in the very southern end of Gilroy. We are all about providing safe spaces for kids, quality coaches, and a very robust character curriculum, very focused on life skills. Golf for us is purely the vehicle, though we're obviously big golf people as well. But life skills and character development for kids is really the goal. All kids are welcome in our program, regardless of their background or ability to pay. A class is at Baylands right now is $300, but 30% of the kids are only paying $20 to be part of the classes. This is our 25th anniversary. And over these 25 years, we've served over 100,000 kids and teens throughout the program, throughout Silicon Valley. It's a very diverse program. About 40% of the kids and teens are girls, and over 85% of the participants are non-white. And then I mentioned about 30% of the kids, actually it's 30 to 40% of the kids are low income and receiving financial aid. Next slide, please. So we've made Baylands our Mid-Peninsula home, and we want to make it even more of our home. I've spoken to you before in previous years. Securing a longer-term agreement for us is really important, and there's that space between the driving range and Embarcadero Road that we call the youth area that really, really can help secure our future in serving the kids of your area. Right now, we have about 300 kids and teens a year, and if we secure that area and build something out in collaboration with the city, we can serve at least 700 kids a year through the total program here at Baylands. Our annual investment here is about $350,000 a year and another $75,000 for outreach in the school program. So we've got a pretty significant commitment to this area. And then what's really important for us in running our program, but also we believe to help the game of golf in its future, to opening up the game for more people. We really, really believe strongly in carving out community benefits, prioritizing community benefits for public spaces like Baylands golf links. So priorities for seniors, juniors, and residents are really important for us. I was very pleased to see the rate sheet, the fee structures that were approved that include now East Palo Alto residents getting residential rates at Baylands. Very, very good in our opinion. Sarah?
Thank you so much, George. We'll go to the next slide. And we just want to, provide you another update that, we've been engaging the city and First Tee actively. We've been meeting weekly since August. And we have, as many of the commissioners already know, we have an interim facility use agreement that was established last year. And it was also located in your packet for this evening. That agreement is expiring at the end of February, and we are planning to come back and mirror that existing agreement and turn it into a 3 to 5 year facility use agreement, and planning to go to City Council either in January or February with that. And then to kind of highlighting something more long-term, the city and First Tee are in discussions towards a long-term capital partnership. And we are reviewing, a draft term sheet. This term sheet would include First Tee funding a development of the youth practice area, which George will talk about on the next slide. And it would be an expansion of the First Tee usage of the facility. So on that next slide, we'll have George kind of review some of these key components.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. So if you look at the dashed lines, the colorful lines around the driving range, those taller or those red dots, that's the perimeter netting for the range. That is existing right now. The orange lines that are kind of the funny shape in the lower left, that's going around the parking lot of the office building right there. Those are lower than the range nets. They've been around for a long time. I think they're pretty old, but those are existing. And then the yellow dots along the path, along Embarcadero Road, that's a horse fence or a rail fence. It's a wooden fence just to keep people out of that area. So what we're talking about with this youth practice area is just the area between Embarcadero Road and the range, that whole perimeter red line, and building out that area, putting in safety netting where the orange line is and the yellow line, the orange dots are and the yellow dots are. Sarah?
Okay, great. If we go to the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about a little more sequencing and what else is kind of forthcoming. So this kind of dovetails into the second deck driving range study. With this study, we are evaluating a potential of construction for a double-deck driving range. Within the report, there's going to be a financial feasibility for the expansion. There, we will also be including a component for an optional technology enhancements for leveraging that second deck. Also updating, currently we're working on golf market analysis, utilization models, in addition to the financial feasibility that was touched on. Right now, we're in the midst of a ball trajectory study. We're anticipating that we will be completing this in January of 2026. That will then roll up into the second deck study and be incorporated into the feasibility analysis. And the second deck study will then be presented to the Parks and Rec Commission. We're anticipating early 2026. So just this is the end of our slide deck here, and we are available for questions, but hopefully that gives you kind of an update and a better picture of where we're at with First Tee and what's to come.
Thank you, George, too, for the presentation and the staying with it. We really appreciate that. I think it's a very valuable program, and we definitely want to ask more questions about how the commission can help moving us to the next level. Before we go to public comments, any commissioners for any clarifying questions? Make sure I got Mr. Alcaraz right there. Commissioner Kleinhaus?
Thank you. There was a letter that came to us from Ms. Hinton, and I received several other inquiries about the follow-up steps, which we're not discussing tonight, but they're linked. So people are asking specifically whether plastic turf is a requirement or can be done with natural turf. That was one of the questions. Lighting was a question. So I think what would be good is to provide sort of a roadmap when if you have answers, great, but I don't expect the answers now necessarily. So is there a way to let the public know when they can get engaged in the design of what's happening next? That was one question. I have another one, but I'll wait until you.
Yeah, so I did respond to Susan, and that response will also be in your updated packet for next time. As in terms of a roadmap, that's sort of what we tried to lay out a little bit here today. What I did invite is for her to participate in, and I think she might be more interested at the second deck study. And so why also, what I want to call out is if these are a lot of ifs. So, and it might be helpful, Eric, if you could pull up on the slide, George's last with the aerial map, is the range nets would need to be potentially raised, or there would need to be a bit higher if there was a second deck. We don't want to make any improvements to the nets that need to be replaced unless we know the height that the city may or may not want to do. And First Tee will need some of the nets to either be raised or we'll have to get also have an innovative approach because that area for that youth area would need to be safe. And currently, the nets aren't high enough, at least, to make that area safe for a youth practice area. So that's kind of how everything is intertwined and connected. Do you have any?
No, I just add that the same is true on the other side. The
That's
short
correct.
game area. So there was a short game area that was, the city created on the golf course side, the other side of the range. So it's at the very top of this diagram. And that has not been activated for public use since the golf course opened 5.5 years ago.
So if you don't mind, I have additional questions to continue this. It's not safe for whom? For drivers on the Embarcadero Road or for the kids that are playing? Who is it not, who are the safety measures going to protect?
Sorry, can you clarify, are you talking about just any of if the nets were raised?
You said the nets need to be raised to provide safety. To whom is my question.
For the golfers, for the youth practice area.
Okay, so it's not to provide the drivers on Embarcadero Road for, like, they won't get hit by balls. That's not by golf ball. Okay. So about the synthetic turf, that seems to be a very big issue. When City Council discussed it, they said, okay, we're not going to install any more plastic after potentially the ad hoc decision regarding El Camino Park, but there was a lot of discussion among the city council members as, well, if we do this, it will be the last one. So I think it would be good to provide information to the public, you don't need to answer right now, about whether the plastic there is a really important feature or not, like can you use other kinds of natural turf, and to Susan was not the only one who approached me, she's the only one who wrote, but I got at least 2 other people asking me questions, and I said, okay, I'll ask at the meeting, and I don't know if they're watching or not, but they'll be looking for what is the process for them to engage, and they're mostly interested in the plastic or not plastic.
That's noted, and we did receive, I'm aware of one other comment that I did respond to, so we'll make sure we engage the community before moving forward.
Okay. Any other clarifying questions? So Commissioner White?
Yeah, quick clarifying question. Firstly, thanks for the great presentation. Actually, my family used the first tee, and they really enjoyed it. And it was great for her understand the social diversity, make friends from various racial and socioeconomic backgrounds. So the youth, come back to the youth area. Is that a new area to be for youth practicing, or it's already existing? So is that budget part of the feasibility study or not?
So in terms of its age, that area has always been there. And when the golf course improvement project was done, the redesign, it was just an open grass area. But as part of the project, it got irrigated and grassed in with natural grass, and that wooden fence got put in to protect it. And then your other question was about feasibility.
So is that the youth practice area to be, modified, et cetera? Is it going to be part of the feasibility study you're going to do as a part of components?
No, so the feasibility study would then, or the second deck study would incorporate and would have impacts on if First Tee and their long-term capital partnership that we have been working on is because they have offered to raise and capitally fund renovating and the youth area. And in order to do that, the nets, again, would need to be adjusted.
Okay.
I have another
I'm
question.
sorry, Commissioner Kleinhaus.
So how is this area treated in the Baylands Master Plan? I think that, I don't know if that contradicts or not, but it's a question, because I think the master plan designated Embarcadero Road as some kind of a scenic entrance to the Baylands. And, you know, right now, when you drive there, the nets, you can see them, but they're not right on the road. So I'm wondering if you looked into consistency with the master plan.
That's a good point. We can, it's something we can evaluate also when we get there. But thank you for flagging that.
Okay, let's, public comments?
There are no public comments at this time.
Okay, we'll go ahead and pass it on to commissions. I'm going to start with Commissioner Alxaray.
Thank you. Just a couple of small questions. Are we anticipating with the second tier and the extra youth programs after the netting, additional use? And if there's going to be additional use, are we considering access and parking and all of the issues that come along with it?
All of the access, that's part of any CIP plan that we vet through. And any upgrades would also come back to the PRC for a park improvement ordinance. So that what we are talking about are lengthy processes that will receive plenty opportunity for community input.
I guess the question is this net new use? I think the second deck probably would be, or is it transferring some of the youth activity and current driving range up top? I just want to be clear.
Sorry, maybe
Are you asking if it's an expansion or?
Right. Is it going to be double deck driving now, or is it an upper deck? And is the youth area new use, or is that just reuse of what's currently being done there?
Right, so, and maybe you want to address maybe the first T item?
Sure. So in my presentation, I mentioned how our current use is about 300 kids a year, kids and teens. And that program is after school Tuesday through Friday. What the youth area does is it enables us to also have kids in that dedicated youth area during that same time, Tuesday through Friday. And then it also opens up the opportunity to run Saturday classes pretty much all day in that area. And we would do that for younger kids who don't need golf course access. So it's basically a cordoned off area for them to be safe, but also to be able to run the myriad of all of our programs for the younger age groups. So it would grow our program from 300 to 700.
Right. And if I remember from a previous presentation, you do have a wait list, right?
Oh, definitely.
So if you do add 700, you'll be able to accommodate more kids that now will outgrow the
Yes.
wait list and not have the opportunity. So you're saying that this would give those kids an opportunity who probably wouldn't have it because there's not enough space.
Right, yes. If we build it, we think they will come,
Okay,
yes,
got it.
definitely.
Thank you. We'll start at the other end. Commissioner Dunn.
Great presentation. I have also two questions. First, because you don't have a before and after, so I cannot see which area expanded from how much to how much square foot. So I would recommend if you can include that, then it's clearer for us to understand.
So the footprint area would not expand.
That's correct. What you're looking at, this aerial view, it's an actual aerial view. So that section at the bottom, above Embarcadero Road, the lower left, that section that's kind of a pie wedge, that is the natural grass that's already there. So that does not expand, as Sarah said, that will not expand in size in any way.
Okay, but we're adding more children on that area.
So there, currently, it's not getting used. So
Okay.
what's happening at the driving range, I don't know the exact number, but golf balls are going over the nets on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And this has been true ever since the golf course reopened in 2018. And I think the proportion is something like 9 out of 10 go over the right and a tenth go over the left-hand side of the nets. But what it does is it renders both sides unsafe. That's why the short game hole doesn't get used, because people would be out there using it and potentially be able, could get hit.
Okay, now I understand. Thank you for clarifying that. My second question is, if we add a double deck for the driving range, would that provide some shade for people who are practicing there, both on the first and second level?
Yes. However, for this item, that second deck, we're not discussing as much on the topic. We're hoping to discuss that in length when it comes back. We're hoping early 2026.
I see.
So I don't want to get in too much detail on a topic that, because we will be presenting a full study to the commission.
I see. And in terms of the capital collaboration, is it because we can increase the capacity for youth usage that maybe First Tee can also sponsor to upgrade or improve the whole facility for the golf links? Is that the proposal?
So it's twofold. One is it's for us to be able to expand our program, but our total use is I don't think it's more than 25% of the time. So our vision is that that space would then be dedicated for private instruction that the golf course is providing, and that the short game hole, ideally, if the range nets were raised, would become open for general public use. We also have a vision for doing field trips, bringing kids out from schools to get a golf experience, and in that dedicated youth area. And then there are other groups that could use the area as well, so long as it was all managed by the golf course operator. So a little bit different than the other side, which would be generally open.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been there a few times, and I'm looking forward to the expansion, and hopefully my kids can get a try. Thanks.
Commissioner Kleinhaus?
So what is in the Chipping Green and youth area and all that other green area now?
So in the youth area?
Yeah, the place that's marked here, youth area and Chipping Green and,
Right, so those labels are for future.
so right now, what's there now?
It's irrigated, graded grass. There are some mounds where those potential tee boxes might go, but it's literally what you see. It's just open grass. There's there is a cart path that goes in there. That's what that one white area is, right at the tip of that little corner parking lot. And then a bunker was added by the city and the operator, but it's in probably the very first 60 yards from the very tip of the wedge, more in the middle of the diagram.
Okay.
And that was added because a practice bunker was removed when the golf course was redone, and the public golfers wanted a practice bunker.
So when I just tried to figure out what it has in the old master plan, there is a sort of a circle around this area along both sides of Embarcadero Road, but I'm not clear what that is. And it cuts into that area that you marked as youth area. So I'm not sure if it's part of the view corridor or what it is. So I would just, again, say, need to figure out what that is. But the other question I have there's a path going right next to the golf course in Cupertino, Blackberry Farm Golf Course, and it's very tall fencing, much taller than this. And the golf balls still end up in Stevens Creek right next door. And somehow it happens. I don't know how it happens, because it's really, really tall, the fence. And I'm worried, are you going to have some sort of a traffic engineer look at the potential of cars getting hit? I mean, I'm just seeing what happens in Cupertino and finding those golf balls is a little scary.
Totally agree. One of the issues, or one of the things you'll note here, is that the design, the teeing grounds are on the perimeter of Embarcadero. And then the green that kids would be hitting into, people would be hitting into, would be along the range fencing. So even though there would be protective netting, that would be pretty high in that area, because the area is not that wide. But for just the reason that you're bringing up, Commissioner, as safety for the street, but all of the direction of the hitting would be away from the street.
Okay, one last thing, again, back to that plan. It looked like there was a row of trees all along Embarcadero in the old times. When I look at this old picture, there was a row of trees where you have the yellow dot there. There were trees. And I was wondering if you could make that youth area just a little shorter and plant trees along Embarcadero. If you took out another 10 feet, you could fit a line of trees all along the road, and we can talk about what kind of trees, but the design will still benefit. You'd still have the youth area. You'd be providing shade, and potentially I don't think the wind comes from that direction, so it's not going to help with wind, but it will help with shade, and it will help with biodiversity, and it will help with masking. I'm sure you want this to be shown, but I think that in terms of what the planning for this area was, we lost a lot of trees, so this is an opportunity if you can consider that.
Sure, duly noted. I think in this diagram, the way Embarcadero Road, that bar, it's not the actual road, it's a graphic on superimposed. I think it's actually encroaching towards that curvy sidewalk more than it really does. I think there's actually quite a bit of space between the path and the curb. That planting could be done now.
That's a question to staff then. Can you look into planting trees between this fence and Embarcadero Road?
I don't know if that's kind of premature for what you're planning for right now, right?
It's something we can look at. To George's point, there's this diagram doesn't quite show it, but there's, between the Embarcadero Road and the pathway, there's a good size planting strip. It's currently got a row of trees in it, but just looking at the aerial, I think there's maybe some trees that have been removed in the past, that there's some spaces for trees potentially, and that's something we'd have to just explore. And we could explore that and potentially do that without.
That's city property, right? If that's between the street
Right.
and the sidewalk?
It's public right away.
Public, okay.
Yeah, so we could look at that and talk to our urban forestry team.
That sounds good.
I think that it's important when we look at projects to look at the context, especially in the Baylands. And so this is important for the context. It's important for the visual impact of this, given that this is a view corridor and the road to the Baylands. So I think, as we look at one part of this, I think it's similar to the question that was before, like what about all these projects together? And we need to start putting a tapestry together here, in my opinion. Thank you.
Commissioner Wayne.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation again. I really do support Commissioner Kleinhaus, the great idea to have tall trees along with the net if we have the land to do that, and it's both visual as well as environmental friendly. And I'll come back, want to talk about the use patches, the practice. I see it's existing netting along with Jones Day parking lot to come back to corporate social responsibility. Anybody reach out to Jones Day to see how they can collaborate in terms of, giving the parking lot? Maybe for use, it's mostly parents drop off, right? So, and then mostly they will be after school time where their working day is done. And most law officers nowadays working from home too. And also in terms, volunteer efforts, probably a lot of parents living in Palo Alto as well, and as well as funding. Just throw it out there to see there's a good idea. Anything we can do as commissioner to help you connect the dots or make connection as well.
Okay. Commissioner Brown.
Thank you for a great presentation. I'll preface this by, I know zero about golf and double-decker, single-deck driving range or anything, but it seems like I don't want the conversation tonight to overshadow how much work it's taken to get to this point, to really understand everything, so huge thank you to everybody for this lift to get it to this point. It seems like a process at this point. And so I'm imagining kind of a complicated flow chart in my mind. If this, then that. And so we're starting on that flow chart in the beginning of January. As we're moving through that flow chart and we kind of get answers, it will unfold in front of us. But as we get to each of those milestones, we're applying whatever city-specific policy related to turf or trees, and there's opportunities for engagement at each of those checkpoints. So I don't want the details to overshadow the larger process, to make sure that we're hitting all of those key decision points so that we can keep all of these very complicated, large-scale projects and partnerships moving forward. So I'm supportive of continuing. It sounds like a great plan. I commend staff for succinctly boiling it down to that final slide. But I see a lot more motion kind of coming forward at us, but it seems like a great plan, and we can't wait to work with you on it.
Commissioner Smith.
I think it would be beneficial for all of us to go by there and walk around and get a little feel, because it's, I go to Rotary Club there on Mondays, so it's easy for me to stop by. The other thing I wanted to say, your group is just incredible, and you're changing lives, and so I really commend you in doing that. Thank you very much.
And I parrot that. I mean, this has been going back and forth for at least the 3 years that I've been on the commission, so I'm glad that we've got to this point. I hope that we can take it to the next level. Can you give us an update of a sense of where things stand with the long-term agreement? And I'd like to know when you anticipate a completed draft and what items still are still unresolved. And secondly, I guess, would be what remaining steps are needed before we come back to the PRC and then it gets eventually forwarded to the City Council.
Chair Freeman, I think the next step will be second deck, and we're kind of what we outlined during the presentation is basically all the additional steps that are integrated between basically the city proposing a long-term partnership and agreement, and those steps to get there and how they're all intertwined. So I think the best answer right now that I have for you is we're making steps. We're planning to go to City Council for a longer-term facility use agreement that is planning to get done January, February of this coming year. Then we're rolling out with the second deck, which will be brought here. That will impact potential for the long-term capital project with First Tee. That will also impact the netting project and potential resurfacing. So all of those, the best answer is once we get through those, we'll have a better idea of timeline.
So you have a short-term agreement that's expiring in February. So will this sort of, I think you said it's going to go to the council
In January,
okay, so that will take the place of the short-term agreement?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, got it. Okay.
Just extended a few years?
yeah, we're looking at a 3 to 5 year term.
Okay. If I remember early on, that was a little bit longer period of time that sort of went back and forth, right? So we've come up with the 3 to 5 years seems to be the mutual agreement there. You mentioned that some technology enhancements on the second deck. Can you, what does that involve?
Sure, I think we'll get more into that during the presentation that will be happening in the new year, but it has to do with entertainment and, you know, how far you're hitting your ball, you know.
And does that tie in with the ball
Trajectory study? The trajectory study will help inform feasibility in the nets. So that's, and also just, it's all tied together. So that will be presented to you in the upcoming year.
Okay, again, anything we can do to increase the number of kids that will have some exposure to golf, the better. So the faster we can move with that, I'm sure you're happy with that. So any other commissioners, any other? Okay, thank you again for the presentation.
Thank you, and we're really, really appreciative of all Sarah's and Ben's work. We've made tremendous progress since August, so thank you.
I think we can all sort of tag into that one, that's for sure. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Okay, now item number 5. Moving on to the election of vice chair. Chair, I'm sorry.
Technically, I think it's number 6.
Oh, it's a 6. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I think it's 5. Okay. I'll find out. Okay, so our next item is the election of the chair and vice chair for the Parks and Recreation Commission. And so as a reminder, the chair is responsible for leading our meetings, working with staff on agenda development, representing the commission in discussions with city council and community stakeholders, and guiding our annual work plan. The vice chair supports these duties and serves as the chair's place when needed. So we'll begin with nominations for chair. Commissioners may nominate themselves or another commissioner. Then after each nomination, I will ask the nominee if they accept. Once all nominations are received, we'll conduct a vote. So I'll leave this now. Are there any nominations for chair? Commissioner Wei.
So I want to nominate our current chair, Commissioner Chair Freeman, to continue our wonderful leadership. And because you showed a lot of tremendous leadership, as well as it's very self-evident. You have a great sense of detail. You've been in the city for a long time, and I want to nominate you as next year.
Thank you for the nomination, and I too accept to be continuous chair. Thank you. Are there any other nominations for Commissioner Kleinhaus?
I was going to nominate the chair to continue, so that already happened. We have a tradition of allowing chairs to have 2 years and sometimes more. It won't be new for this commission to do so. And I think our current chair has done a good job, is still learning, and I appreciate how he treats everybody with a lot of respect and listens to everyone. So yeah, I was going to nominate him, but thanks.
Thank you. Any other nominations for chair? Let me go to. So with that, do we vote on it? I can't remember.
If there's no other nominations, I think you can also move to vice chair, and you can, do you want to do that, or would you like to take a roll call vote or
Do we
a
motion to close nominations?
Yeah.
Is that what, and just following the staff report, so, so motion to close nominations, and then we do a roll call vote.
Yeah.
Correct.
I make a motion to close
So-
nominations.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay. Commissioner Deng,
Yes.
Commissioner Kleinhaus,
Yes.
Commissioner Way,
Yes.
Chair Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Axelrod.
Yes.
Yeah, that's unanimous. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you, and thank you, everyone, for your input, and I'll appreciate the fine comments, and I'll represent you well going from the next 12 months, so I appreciate that, thank you. So next, we'll take nominations for vice chair. Again, commissioners may nominate themselves or others. I'm going to sort of take the first stab at that, and I am going to nominate Commissioner Brown for vice chair. I've worked with her as chair, and I think I was her vice chair. I think she did an excellent job as both vice chair and chair. And so with that, I look forward to hopefully being able to work with her again as vice chair going forward with a lot of the really positive initiatives that we have going forward. So
Thank you. I'll accept the nomination.
thank you. Commissioner Kleinhaus.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Way. Commissioner Way was a candidate for this position last year, and that did not move forward. And I think it's really important to have new people in leadership roles and to really represent the diversity of this community. And I think that Commissioner Way has a lot of energy and wisdom to provide all of us with. And so I would nominate Commissioner Way with the hope that she accepts.
Thank you, Commissioner Kleinhaus. I accept the nomination. Actually, I'm going to nominate myself as the vice chair as well, because I'm really glad our chair, who has continued his role, which offers us continuity with, we lost two very veteran commissioners, Greenfield and Cripps, who sets really high standard for us. And as we approach Thanksgiving, I'm really grateful for the mentorship Commissioner Freeman and Kleinhaus have given me in the last 2.5 years, and the support steadily from Commissioner Dunn and Brown. And I feel that coming to the commission with 25 years experience, community engagement, public-private partnership, I want to bring more public partnership here. And in the last 2.5 years, especially as youth liaison, focus on making our parks programs more inclusive, accessible, and responsive to our community needs. Just last week, we truly inspired a Youth Council Civic Engagement Summit at the Team Center last weekend. Very powerful young leaders, along with City Council Stone and Laken Hams and George Rue. So after Strategy 24-25, we're supporting youth mental health, partnering with our incredible staff under the leadership of Christian Cohen. And so that's my passion, to bring more youth to the parks, bring more corporate social responsibility to our volunteers, and also bring more funding to our city. So if I were elected the vice chair, I'll continue championing parks that reflects the diversity of Palo Alto. We have 2 to 3% African American, 7 to 8% Latinx, 39% Asian American, Hawaiian Native American. So over half of the diverse population born outside the U.S. So as an immigrant, and this is important to have a culturally sensitive approach to youth well-being, senior care, as well as community engagement. And I'm honored to nominate myself as the vice chair. Thank you for your consideration. I'm looking forward to continue this important work with all of you.
Thank you. Any other, Commissioner Smith?
I would move for the closure of the nomination.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Good. So for the roll call for the closure of the nomination, Commissioner Deng,
Yes.
Commissioner Kleinhaus,
Yes.
Commissioner Wei,
Yes.
Chair Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
and Commissioner Axelrod.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
So I just handed out ballots. Please fill out your commissioner name. Commissioner Axelrod, if you could message Eric or myself, and we will account for your vote. You do not need to fill out chair, just vice chair for the 2 nominees that are on, I guess, being nominated this evening.
Okay, so the the votes are in, so let me go ahead and count them off here. I have 1 vote for Brown for vice chair, a 2nd vote for Brown for vice chair, 3rd vote for Brown for vice chair, 1 vote for Wei for vice chair, a 2nd vote for Wei for vice chair, a 3rd vote for Wei for vice chair, and a 4th vote for Wei for vice chair. So with that, I would say that Wei would be the vice chair, yeah, based on the voting.
Congratulations, Vice Chair. Looking forward to working with you.
I'm looking forward to support you and learn from you,
Okay.
Chair.
All right, that concludes our the election item. So we'll move on to the next item. The work plan.
Eric, is it possible to pull up that spreadsheet?
The work plan.
I have a comment, Chair. I think legally you have to say who voted for who. I think it's legally, I'm pretty sure that the clerk needs to read the votes and who voted for which one of the candidates. I'm pretty sure that it's required or this vote is not legal.
Who do we find out if that's the case?
You can,
I'm reading the protocol. Voting will be according to verbal roll call by the staff secretary. So staff secretary counts the votes and announces only the winner and the number of votes. The elected chair, vice chair resumes the responsibility from the meeting forward. The new chair gives service, thanks the former chair for the service, but those are all the protocol. It doesn't state anything.
I don't think.
okay, thank you, that's fine. I remember reading about that somewhere, and I just want to make sure that we're okay. Thank you.
Thanks for asking. You're pulling up the work plan? Okay.
So Eric, right now, will be pulling up the assignments of commissioners to ad hoc committees and liaison roles. This is a graph. If you could zoom in a bit on this, this graph is an updated. This does not include the termed out commissioners. The highlighted two areas are the areas that we must have somebody in those positions. So there are only two. We will note that from the top section of the ad hoc committees, we can see, if you can scroll up, the ad hoc committees, one of the former ad hoc committees was closed, so that it may look a little bit different. But we no longer have anybody on the playing field section. And then if you scroll down, Safe Routes to School is also empty. The ad hoc items, those are, just as a reminder, likely monthly meetings and commitments, whereas the liaisons are more informal and they are broad subjects, and the commitment is much less. So in terms of liaisons, we're looking for 1 or 2 at most, whereas the ad hocs, we're looking for a minimum of 2, maximum of 3.
And we discussed to leave the existing ad hoc and liaison folks on as is, unless someone has, a preference, a strong preference to move off of one ad hoc or liaison to a different one. But this would be kind of the opportunity to do that. So, so for playing fields would be.
I think also, Chair, if you wouldn't mind, I believe the new commissioners might have some thoughts and preferences, and might be a great place to start. Do you want to either Commissioner Axelrod or Smith?
Commissioner Axelrod?
Sure, I'm happy to help in any way where I can be most useful. If Safe Routes is looking for a new liaison, I do have kids that have commuted to school, so I'm happy to fill into that role if nobody else is inclined.
Okay, we'll add you to that one.
I would have interested in the ad hoc in middle school athletics and.
Commissioner Smith, can you move your
I
mic?
apologize. I have interest in middle school athletics and playing fields.
Eric, are you able to make those updates? Thank you. And then below, if you're able to add Axelrod to Safe Routes. And then I just will note that this can also be revisited. There are plans to move up the work plan because we are off cycle with the transition to a fall recruitment. We are anticipating a retreat coming in February. And with that, we could then adjust at that time a more robust discussion if that is not what you'd like to do this evening, but there's a possibility. And frankly, with the holidays and the amount of work we have January, we have quite a bit of agenda items already planned. So I think this could do for then, but unless you want to have a more robust discussion.
Yeah, so the city council is not going to have, will not have their priorities until February, which is one of the reasons that we are contemplating having the retreat in February after that. Usually it's in April. And so the plan would be sometime probably about the second or third week, probably third week. City council meets, you don't know when they're.
Right now, it's penciled in late January for
Okay.
city council priorities.
Okay. So just sort of, our retreat will be sometime in February for the new folks on the commission. Usually that's on a Friday, normally around, I guess we met noon to 2 or something, noon to 3 or something like that.
Well,
I fell asleep, I think, because I have interest in liaisons, if I might. The CIP review, funding partners, and open space preserves would be 3 that I would have interest in.
Okay.
I would just note that CIP review already has 2. That is, however, a group that we do.
You can, I'm on like 3 or 4, so I don't mind being removed from the CIP review, and then Roger can be moved to that one. Commissioner Smith.
I wonder if the skate park is still active. I was trying to support NCRIP. I wasn't really so sure it's still active. I'm thinking moving myself off from that, maybe join the funding partners instead.
Yeah, you know what, that Commissioner Way, that is, or Vice Chair Way, that's a great idea. I think potentially we could also remove the skate park from the list of liaisons.
Do we want to do that now or in February? Are we just filling it with the new commissioners
Yeah,
right
I
now
think
and
right now
making
we're just filling in, and then in
Okay.
February, we can
Okay.
decide whether or not there's going to be new ad hocs added, new liaisons added, or removed.
Yeah,
So
but I just
probably-
moved myself away from that and join the funding
I
partners
mean, because the
instead.
reality is that we're probably not going to have time to meet, maybe 1 or 2 ad hocs will meet sometime in January, but in February, we're going to go through the whole thing again anyway, so it's
Got it.
probably better to wait.
Thanks.
Okay.
Could you also add me to the playing fields?
Gladly.
Come on.
And like I said, we'll be revisiting this in February anyway. And hopefully everyone's had a chance to kind of take a look at the work plan, and if we can have some meetings before that, that would be good. Commissioner Kleinhaus?
There is some that I would like to change for myself, if that's okay. Thank you, Commissioner Smith, for joining the Open Space Preserve. That's a big one, and I appreciate having someone there. I'm still on sustainability, even though I thought I was removed last year, and I would prefer not to be on that.
Which one?
The sustainability. I'm fine with staying on urban forestry. I know Jeff Greenfield was on that. I'm interested in the park dedication. It seems like Greenfield is not there anymore.
Yeah. I think we're sort of not making any major changes right now to these.
Okay, well,
until-
the one I would like to be added to is youth. I've had a lot of conversations with young people recently about lighting and some of their other interests, and I would like to join that, the youth liaisons.
Okay. Okay, can we go ahead and, so we'll, like I said, we'll revisit all of the ad hocs and liaisons in February at our February retreat, so. Do we have these updated, Sarah?
I guess I'm torn because I feel like we're kind of mixing. Should we also remove Klein House right now, since we still can accommodate a removal because Commissioner Way is still there? So I would delete Klein House, yes.
So, I mean, we're not going, probably no one's going to meet before the retreat, so let's leave it as is, and we'll come back and we'll open it up for a discussion, because it's going to be a bigger discussion.
Correct.
As we review the work plan and possibly add additional ad hocs or liaisons and so forth, so. Okay. Sorry.
On urban forestry, I would just say, I think there's quite a few things coming up soon. So I don't know if anybody's interested in joining on that. There are some issues that will come to the commission soon.
That is correct.
Oh, before our retreat?
Yes. It will, there's going to be items that will be involving urban forestry starting at your next month's special meeting. So if anybody is interested, now would be the time.
Yeah, that might be one to, any volunteers to jump on that one with Commissioner Kleinhaus?
I'm fine being the only liaison, but if anybody's interested in trees and urban forests, this is your opportunity.
Yeah. I don't know that much about trees other than walking through them, but I don't mind. I can jump on that one with you. Okay, let's go ahead and close that one, please. Can we move, what's the next, okay. Next on the agenda. Ad hoc committees and liaison reports. Well, any
There is, Chair Freeman, I know Commissioner Way, are you able to share your screen for that item? Because Commissioner Kleinhaus has a video to speak to, so I appreciate you
that part of an
working
ad
your
hoc?
tech. Yes,
Okay,
that is.
Okay.
It's regarding a liaison update of open space.
okay.
I can tell the story while Commissioner, Vice Way is looking for how to share it. So last weekend, I walked at the Arrestradero Preserve, which I often do, near the bowl area that we had discussions of. And there was a coyote running right towards us. And so we're like, okay, why is it in such a hurry to get to people? You know, kind of weird. Well, it turns out there were 2 deer chasing the coyote. Everyone thinks it should be the other way around, but the deer were chasing the coyote. And the coyote went into some bushes, and then that's when I started filming. And it's a little too late to see the deer chasing it, which you'll have to take my word for it. But the video basically shows what happened when the deer chased it away, and then the coyote was just trying to find where to go to because there were a lot of people around, and it was trying to find, how do I escape these terrible deer? And then the deer left. And so this is the video of the end of the interaction between the coyote and the deer. So I think now we can see it maybe. We don't need the sound, just show. Yeah. So this is a Arrestradero Preserve, and here comes the coyote, and you can see it's a very healthy animal. He looks very, very healthy, and he was running. It's kind of, it's not smooth, but he was running from the deer, and then the deer were just leaving. So this is the trail that goes up towards here's one of the deer, and the trail goes up to the bowl area that we've discussed regarding trail closure. And so you can see the other deer, and they're going up towards the, uphill towards the bowl area. And here comes the coyote trying to figure out how to go between us and other people who were there and the deer. And it did end up kind of tired and found a little place that was shaded and just hung around there for a while. So now that's the video. It's very short, but I thought it was pretty cool. And this gives people a lot of enjoyment, and is why our natural areas need to be good for the animals. So that's my little update.
Can you turn on the mic, please?
Yeah, youth liaison, I've been there a couple of times. One is actually during the Moon Festival, which is celebrated in Korea, Japan, China, etc. Brought some treats, and the the kids loved it, and also share some heritage because 70% of youth council are from Asian heritage, and it was also the Diwali during that time as well. So it was a great conversation about identity versus heritage versus youth mental health, which is their focus. So this year they have a focus for youth mental health, which I'm still hoping to look into. We can have the shuttle to take them free to our parks, such as Bayland or Foothill Park, and look into corporate social responsibility, donation for that as well. And the other event I went was last weekend. They had a summit for civic engagement, a mock city council, so they all act as commissioners, and it was great to work with City Council Lu and Stone, as well as Hafganlan, to observe how they address the issues they think in this city. So I was really delighted to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other Commissioner Day?
Can I also share a video related to a youth report? I shared the video link with Eric. It's a Palo Alto High School journalism program reporting on the Pet Palooza parade. And it's very fun to watch.
Great practice to take videos. I should have done that too.
It's a professional video done by a high schooler who's in a journalism organization.
I don't see the link. Did you send it already?
Emailed it.
Oh, email.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for that, any other commissioners with updates on their ad hocs or liaison? The only one I have is just the Rocket Courts policy update, which will be coming back to the commission, I think, in February. But anyway, that's one that Sarah will be giving us the agenda update, December, January, and February.
I'm sorry, were you asking about pickleball and tennis?
Yeah, pickleball, tennis, yeah.
Yeah, that's slated for the February agenda.
Okay.
I'm happy to pick up after the,
I think when you share screen, you also need to share the sound.
Better go back in here then.
This was the Pet Palooza Parade.
Well done to the staff who pulled this off first time.
Pet owners gathered at California Avenue to watch the city of Palo Alto's first annual Pet Palooza Parade. Participants dressed up their pets in cute costumes, walked them down the street, and performed tricks for the opportunity to win prizes in the friendly competitions. It was a way to bring Palo Alto's community together by showing off the love and happiness that pets can bring to people's lives.
I'm Kristen, and this is Bella. One of my really good friends works for the city, and she told me about it, and I love dogs, and I love my dog. I love meeting other people's dogs, and so it sounded like a fun way to spend a morning.
I'm Yuki, and this is Mochi. She has an Instagram account, so I'm always on the search for like fun pet events, and we found it and we thought, oh, we should come down here and check it out.
Next, we talked to some of the event organizers about the process that went behind planning the event. We also asked them about the event's purpose.
My name is Lance Ledrew. I'm the Recreation Coordinator for special events for the city of Palo Alto. We've been organizing this event for approximately about 3 months. Because it is a first-time event, it took a while to get logistics and get folks on board and different businesses to want to help out. Our goal with a lot of the special events in the city of Palo Alto is community. So we thought, what a better way to bring community together than with pets.
My name is Yudi Den. I'm a Palo Alto resident, and I serve on the Palo Alto Parks and Recreation Commission. The purpose of the entire event is to promote community, family-friendly activities for the Palo Alto residents and the greater Bay Area. So you can get out of your home with your pets, with your kids, with your family members, and this is a good activity for your mental health and the physical health.
This is the first annual, so we're already planning for next year now that we know we can do it. So circle your calendars and we'll see you then.
On the surface, the Pet Palooza Parade appears to be a fun and exciting event for a fall morning, but it is also a way to bring Palo Alto's community together through a shared love for pets. For In Focus News, I'm Nicole Liu, co-reporting with Liani Rigade and Joshua Bion.
Yeah, great.
Why does that not make the department report?
Yeah, and congratulations for your team, because I even remember the PPT, you proposed the first event for this, and you pulled this off beautifully. Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you. Anyone else?
I don't have any update, but I want to just thank the new commissioners joining us. They have tremendous experience, both professional and community, and I'm really glad they are here, and I hope to learn from each other and work with them closely. Commissioner Axelrod, Commissioner Smith.
Yes. Okay. Sir?
Did you want a preview just of the upcoming, so your next meeting, we polled everyone, is scheduled, it's going to be a special meeting, December 16th. On the December meeting, there's staff and commission norms. Will be provided by the city manager. Park improvement ordinance for 2100 Gang Road, which is a discussion item. an aquatics annual update, as well as a capital improvement update. So that is a fairly large agenda. Things may move. We also have January, we have Palo Alto Youth Council, Coverly update, open space update, and urban forestry update. In addition to the Gang Road item continuing, so there will be some shuffling there because that's definitely too many. And then as noted earlier in February, we have the tennis pickleball item coming back.
And it'll be good, it'll be fun. Okay, with that, we'll move on to adjournment. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, and thanks to our new commissioners.
Welcome on board, Commissioner Smith and Axelrod.
Excited to be